Carrie, go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, good, good. Upon arrival, Kalani Brown, she tested positive. Do you have any updates for her?
Simply that she's starting to feel better. I think that's the best thing. It's it's an incredibly difficult situation, to be honest. I mean, you go into this and isolation is not an easy thing. I mean, usually people that have it are isolated at home and they're at least around family, but she's been in a hotel room, kind of dealing with the symptoms of it. We've been in like a lot of contact with her every day, had a long conversation with her yesterday. She's really starting to feel better. So hopefully, she's over the hump and, when we can get a couple negatives and get her back over here, I think it'll be really, really a good thing for her.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, so you had two players. Can you talk about both your players who tested positive, or are you just talking? I think you just talked about Kalani, correct? I'm sorry, I just got on there.
Yeah, I mean, Kalani's the only player that has wanted to share her personal health situation. So, this situation with her, she tested positive while here. So she's been in the medical protocol for the WNBA, where she's been at an off-site hotel in isolation with nurses visiting, and she is retesting every day now, and we're just kind of waiting to get her back.
Is there any update on Courtney Williams? I mean, there have been, I hate to bring, but there have been rumors that she's in the bubble now. Is that true, or can you talk about her status?
Yeah, she is not in the bubble yet. I can say that with 100% certainty. We are hopeful that she will be here very, very soon.
And I guess lastly, like at that point, so even with if Courtney's here soon, you're still looking at probably at least a week before any of the players that you haven't had could play, because they would have to do at least the 4 days. It would still be 4 days that they'd have to quarantine once they get there.
Yeah, I mean, yes, correct. For players that aren't here, they do have to go through the 4-day quarantine upon arrival. So yeah, we probably won't have a roster that looks any different than ours today through at least probably our first 2 games.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions for Coach Collen?
Come on, nothing about Dallas?
Michelle, go ahead.
Sorry, I wasn't sure how many people were on, so I wasn't trying to monopolize it. Can you just sort of give us an idea then? I mean, I know you're used to having to deal with this as a coach, but like you said, preparing for the Wings and knowing you don't have the whole team the way that you want it to look like, but what you do have, how do you feel about this group?
I feel like I'm really lucky in some ways. Not lucky because, certainly if you'd have told me after we drafted Kennedy that I wouldn't have Tiffany Hayes or wouldn't have Courtney Williams or Kalani or Glory Johnson or Renee Montgomery for my first game, I would have kind of shaken my head. But I'll tell you, I've got a group that works really, really hard, that competes every day, that has played with great pace. And that's what we're going to have to do. So, I mean, we'll be looking at kind of a new look Wings team as well, with their rookies, their acquisitions and free agency, and they've been lucky enough to stay pretty healthy here and kind of have a full squad for the most part. So they've got a lot of dangerous combinations, and trying to figure out still like, how are they going to use Katie Lou? Is she going to be a 2, a 3, a 4? Where is Satu going to play? Will Bella get many minutes? I mean, there's a ton of question marks with them, and so, we're going to dive into personnel with them. We're going to dive into, actions that Brian has liked to run in the past, but, we maybe get something different. So it's a big part of why we build a base defensively, and have rules for flares and pin downs and ball screens. And, we'll adjust accordingly when we know what they're running and how they're hurting us. And so, Yeah, I don't have a full deck right now. There's no doubt. But you know, I think that I've got a pretty fun group. I've got a really positive group. We've got a ton of positive energy, and you know, we'll grind. You know, I think it's a group that's going to grind. It's not a group that's going to look each other in the eye and say we're missing Courtney Williams or we're missing Glory Johnson. It's a group that's just going to compete, and hopefully we make some open shots.
Yukiri, go ahead.
Yes, Coach. Can you just speak a little bit about the confidence level of the rookies going into the game coming up?
You know, I think it's a little all over the board. You know, if you'd have told me what Jalen Agnew's confidence was 2 days ago, I would have told you it was pretty low. But then she goes in and makes probably 4 or 5 threes against, you know, a 2-time Olympian. And I think she's still hot today. You know, she's a great shooter. I think, you know, after making some shots in live action, it makes her more confident, you know, with each and every shot, you know, and her teammates are really encouraging her. You know, Brittany's up and down. She had a nice post move in the game yesterday, but the game, you know, she's got to catch up to the speed of the game. You know, Kennedy's had 2 good scrimmages, and I thought yesterday turned it over too much and missed some easy shots. You know, and so she's got to rally from that, you know, and I told her after practice yesterday, I said, look, I'm probably going to get on you like you've never been gotten on before. And she's like, okay, Coach, I see. Believe me, I saw that today. You know, but I said, but here I am now, my arms around you. And I'm basically just saying, you know, I need you. We need you to be good. We need you to, you know, let plays go. You make a mistake at one end, you can't compound it by not getting back on defense. You can't compound it by hanging your head. You know, the reality is Kennedy Carter's unguardable. I mean, it's not a question of, you know, can she get by her defender? It's how much help is coming and what read is she going to make? You know, she's special. She's special with the ball. She can do things that a lot of players can't do. You know, there's a lot of, you know, we're going to face Arike Agumawale, very similar in terms of, you know, players that can create their own shots. I think Kennedy can really get in and pass. And that's what we need. We need her to create shots for herself, but we need her to create shots for her teammates. And when she does that, you know, then we're going to get good shots. You know, it's just a matter of making them.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
First up is Pepper.
Hi, Erica. It's Pepper from Dish with Pepper.
Hello.
And you haven't been in the Webble as long as the rest of the Dream. What are you doing to catch up before Sunday's game?
Well, thank you for the great question. I have been just really studying my plays, making sure that I'm all caught up with my team because I know they've been here a whole week before I even got started with things. So really just trying to stay up to date with all my plays, constantly communicating with my coaches about things I need to work on, watching film, and just really trying to bond with my team so that I can get as much chemistry with them off the court and on the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Yukiri, go ahead.
Yes, could you walk us through practice today and how did you do?
Cool. Yeah. So practice, we really were trying to focus on the kind of the mistakes that we did when we played against Vegas. So really just working on that. Transition G was a big emphasis today. So we were really working on that as far as doing 2-on-3 and different drills like that, as well as half court offense and defense. I think I played solid today in practice. I think each day I get better and better, constantly trying to create chemistry with my team. So I'm very excited how Sunday is going to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Davis, go ahead.
Good morning, Erica. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Excited for the season. And previously, Coach Collen mentioned that how you are the bouncy presence, similar to Monique Billings in regards to similar to the athletic style of play and your aggressive rebounding. So what is it that you're looking forward to bringing to the Dream this season, and I guess transitioning from your previous years in a Fever uniform?
Right. Probably the biggest thing is just bringing extra energy for the team. I know they're a very energetic team. That's why I love playing with them. But just giving them extra energy, extra talking. As you know, I can rebound well, push the pace as well. So just really just emphasizing what they already have. I think I fit in with the system well. So just emphasizing everything that they do well, rebounding, pushing the pace, shooting the ball well. So that's what I'm here to do.
Bailey Johnson, go ahead.
Hey, Erica. Thinking back to when you got the call that you were going to join the team and came into the bubble, what was that like for you?
Oh, it's super exciting times. I was watching Hamilton with my mom right when my agent called, and he told me that Atlanta wanted me to come out there. It was crazy hectic because Coach Nicki asked if I can come out the next day. She called me at 9 p.m. that night, and I had a flight out at noon the next day. So it was a very quick turnaround, but very exciting times. I called my whole family and I called my sister, and so it was just it's super exciting to be here, and I'm ready to get rolling on some games.
All right, last call for questions for Erica. All right, thanks for
Thank you.